now we're jumping into glasses. The first thing we're going to do is some before and afters. We figured we're going to just dive right in to show you each of the seasons, how the color of your glasses can change the entire look.
Also, one of the things about glasses, it's profoundly complicated because you have choices. Your choices in plastic frames, or whatever they call them, allow you to use your color fan. You can choose the colors in your color fan for the plastic glasses. The rims are a little bit bigger, and it makes a little more sense. And so we thought it would be nice to look at befores and afters for plastic frames first, and talk a little bit about color for the plastic. Then we'll get into the metals, and then we'll get into face shapes. But we are skimming the surface and trying to just give you a few filters that you can use as you're making your choices.
Yes, so true. Now, the first one I wanted to start off with was an easier one, and she's a winter. So I want to just dive into the winter because, we gave her the normal warm frames and we compared it to the very jet black frames just to give you an idea of what it will look like. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her up now.
Did you know that tortoise shell frames are sold far and away more, that there are more tortoise shell frames sold than any other color or frame?
I did not know that, but it's probably me buying all of them. So
well, it's a fun fact to know.
It's just me buying all of the tortoise shell. I'm a huge tortoise shell fan, but of course, if you're a winter out there, then you should stay away from those brown tortoise shell fans. As you can see in this one on the left, she's wearing a warm frame, and on the right, she's wearing her cool frame, which is going to complement all of that contrast she has going on.
Yeah, remember that your glasses should match your face in terms of boldness and contrast. The season that has the most boldness and the most contrast is the winter. Now, if you look at the tortoiseshell side, you see that it kind of muddies her look, for lack of a better term. But if you look over on the winter frame side, everything is of a piece. She has harmony. Right. And that's what we're looking for, balance and harmony. And I want to add balance to that list of things we're looking for. With eyeglasses, balance is very important.
And I also noticed it's helping frame her face more. So it's really giving her all of that contrast, really help bringing in all of her features and harmonizing her entire look with those black frames versus the brown frames. They kind of just dissolve, and it's not really working with her hair as much and her brows. So I wanted to start with this one because, it's the generic, it's the black frames. You can find them anywhere. If you're a winter, you are so lucky, like I always say, because you get to wear black. Now,
warm versus cool.
Yes. What I want to do, though, is switch over to our autumn model, which happens to be wearing black frames as her wrong, but then switched into green frames to show you, just to give you the look of what it looks like to be.
Before you switch, I do want to say something, Sarah. With the winter model, you can select jewel tone frames. You are not locked into black. As a winter, you have a whole color palette full of colors if you choose a colored frame, but it needs to be jewel toned so that it has the intensity you have as a winter.
Right.
Carry on.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up this autumn model now. And I just want to show you that once again on the left, this autumn model is wearing the black frames. And I'm going to get rid of this winter and show you what she looks like full screen with the green frames.
Now remember, the autumn is muted. An autumn is muted. She's warm. And what we try to do with the autumn is put her in a color of frame that complements her. Now, obviously, we could have chosen tortoiseshell because, like I said, it's the most frequently sold frame in America. Possibly the world, I don't know. But definitely in America. But what I wanted to do is show you something different, which is selection of a frame that complements your eye color. Because if you choose a frame that complements your eye color that is also in your palette, what do you see there that happens? It's like somebody switched on a light switch to show you her green eyes.
I will tell you, being in autumn, my eyes as well, they tend to change and they pick up whatever color I'm wearing. But green is absolutely that power color for me. So if you are in autumn and you have vibrant red hair, then, or just, like this auburn color that I have, green will always make your eyes just stand. It's like they just shine bright, and it's like diamonds, emeralds coming right out of your eyes.
And remember, the green has to be your green. It has to be a soft green. It can't be a bold emerald green that the winter would wear. It can't be a leaf green like a spring would wear. It has to be your green. And an easy rule of thumb is see if you can match your eyes. If you can match the iris of your eye color, you're golden in a plastic frame.
Yeah, and I will have to say green is my favorite color. It makes my eyes just stand right out. It's such a power color. So if you are an autumn out there with green eyes and you have red hair, your power color will probably 99% be a green, a warm green.
And to Sarah's point, because I've kind of paid attention to her choices, she has an eye that is, I'd say it's teal sometimes, it's gray sometimes, it's green sometimes, it's blue sometimes. It truly, I think on her passport it says her eyes are dichroic or multicolored.
Right.
Truly, it depends on what she's wearing. And her choice, if she could have an eye color above any other color, it would always be to make her eyes look green. So if you have a preference, if you're an autumn and you have auburn hair and you want your eyes to pick up the blue side, then of course you can make appropriate choices there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say classic blue is always going to be your best option, or what Pantone calls true blue. Any type of blue in that warmer range in the autumn palette will automatically turn those eyes blue. If you are somebody that does have changing eye colors or gray, once again, my eyes are rarely ever looking gray because I never wear anything that complements or brings out the gray in them, just because it doesn't look good with my hair or my skin tone. So I wouldn't recommend gray as much, but blue or green, you can switch your clothing depending.
Just look at your color palette. Really, the lesson of all these before and afters is, one, look how much better you look in a frame that will be in your color palette, and two, that you should always take your color palette shopping with you when you go shopping.
Right. So I grabbed our next model already. This is our spring model that I'm just gonna get rid of this autumn. I just wanted to stay warm, so we have another. She has golden blonde hair. Of course, it's lighter, so this is really what's kind of giving us those spring tones in her. And she also has these super vibrant teal eyes, which once again makes somebody a spring. But look at the hair. Red or gold highlights is your most important clue factor between warm and cool. And if you're light and deep, that's going to be your biggest clues between spring or autumn.
And I had a lot of fun with this because, again, what you want to enhance is your eye color. I mean, you want to enhance the overall look, but you really want your eye color to pop. Now, if you guys have been listening to us over the months, you know that mocha, the mocha latte eyeshadow really makes a blue eye thing off the page. Well, I thought it would be fun to choose a frame with those same characteristics. Not a rose brown, not a golden brown, but the mocha, something that's the color of the. I'm sorry, I said malted milk. Apologize, that's lipstick. Or a mocha latte lipstick. What I meant was malted milk. We have said over the years that malted milk is the color du jour to make your eyes really glisten. Mm-hmm. And so I chose something in the mocha malted milk family. And look at the difference in her eye color.
Mm-hmm. And this is really what happens when you're wearing those power shades. It really is. It moves the color. It makes it more vibrant. It frames your eyes, of course, because they're glasses. So it's framing your eyes and really giving it that dimension and giving it that pop that it needs to make your eye color stand out.
But there's one more thing. And one of the most important things that the eyeglasses, your eyeglass choice will do for you is it will sculpt your cheekbones. Mm-hmm. And we don't hear a lot about that. But later on, when we talk about face shapes, we'll see that optimal shaped eyeglasses are designed to sculpt your cheekbones. Now here, she's in the exact same frame, but look at the difference in her cheek definition, her cheekbones, her bone structure, when she has on the right color versus the wrong color. Mm-hmm. And you guys comment on these. If you don't agree with us in any way, shape, or form, or at places, please pop up a comment. We'd love to kind of hash it out and discuss. Mm-hmm. But in this case, you see this really well-defined cheekbone, whereas the other, you see glasses.
Yeah. And I also wanted to bring up the fact that having the right color frames helps you pull together your entire outfit as well, because you have this harmonized look. If you are using your swatch fan, your digital downloads, you know what are going to be colors that harmonize with you. So your glasses are going to harmonize with those colors as well. You know, with the spring, you have these brighter, warmer shades, and these glasses would go with any of those colors in the spring palette. So you don't have to worry about, you know, if she bought black frames, it wouldn't go with much of her spring palette. So
Now, I'm sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
I was just saying, so she would probably have to buy multiple frames for multiple different outfits. But when you stay inside your palette, you really know that how to accessorize with the shades that are inside your palette, because they match everything inside the spring palette.
But to add to that, one really important thing is what we've done with this spring model's look is we've given her a conservative look, something she can wear to work and look really down to earth and studious. Now, while a spring, at the same time, in her color palette, has colors like lime green, leaf green, you know, vivid blues, even oranges. And actually, those frames would be in her palette. But the second decision you have to make is this color that's within my palette, if I'm a spring and I get all these bright shades, does it say the right thing about me at the right time? And here's what I mean. If you went in for a job interview at Google, for example, you know, wild, crazy color frames, no problem. But let's say you were going in for a job interview at a bank or Charles Schwab. You know, they're going to want to know that you're serious. So when I said that there are an infinite number of choices and ways and filters that you can run through when you make this decision, part of it is, who are you? Where do you work? What's the message that you're trying to project to the world at any given time? And in a case like this spring, you know, she may get off work and want to project an image that she's fun and artistic and crazy and fun. And this might not be the frame for her. But as a conservative business person who wants to make a good, solid impression, it might be.
Yeah. I just wanted to hop on to some of our comments as well. Of course, once again, they're not showing up on our screen. I'm so sorry, guys. So I'm grabbing them from my phone. Now, I did notice Holly's comment about the winter. You mentioned that her lipstick, she would have looked better in a different lipstick instead of that nude. Totally agree with you.
Yeah, we actually made a decision to downplay the lip color to be closer to the color of the lips because we did not want to compete with the color of the eyeglasses. But you were absolutely right.
Yeah, Holly, something a little bit cooler in her in that shade family would have been so much better for her as well. She also, you love those green frames. Me too. It must be a autumn thing out there.
Yeah, you too. I would love to see you in the same room. You'd probably be dressed like twins.
Yeah. We have Cindy, who is an autumn with red hair and blue eyes, and she's looking for some new glasses. This is very helpful. Yeah, if you're trying to make those blue eyes stand out, I would either go for a brown in the autumn palette or a blue in the autumn palette. And
you know, what you're showing right now on the spring would not be bad for a blue-eyed autumn.
Right.
I'd like to see a little more gold in it, you know, something just a teensy bit warmer. But send us your photo. Go out, try on frames, take a million selfies, send them to us. We're here. We're here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And these shades would, the ones on the right, would look good for an autumn as well. So don't think it's only a spring thing right now. It's not. It can be an autumn thing as well.
I'm leaning more toward a blue-eyed autumn because they are not as warm and rich and tortoisey as we would put on a green-eyed autumn.
Yeah, if you do find like a tortoise shell that does have a bit more red and a bit more gold in there, because with the different tones, so that would be a really good option for you as well. All right, so I'm gonna grab our last before and after, which happens to be a summer. Like always, I save the summers best for last for you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
If I can get this to load. Sorry, guys. It's just taking its sweet time.
We can we can talk all day long. Summer, winter, spring, or autumn.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go.
So we had a little fun with this model,
Mm-hmm.
our summer model, because when we get to face shapes, you'll see that they're anxious to give you kind of a lift up, but clearly this black frame makes her look a bit like Catwoman, or like she's trying too hard to look like a librarian. When you get over on the summer side, notice that muting the color of the frame changes the shape of the frame. This is exactly the same shape frame, but when you mute the color, those upward, outward temple spots, they don't look so intense, and the whole thing kind of works for her. Now we chose a rose brown. And I deliberately chose a rose brown. Certainly, we could have put her in a gray. We could have put her in an infinite number of colors from the summer color palette. But I wanted to show the rose brown to enhance her eyes. Her eyes basically have virtually no color to them. They're gray eyes, right?
Right.
So what I wanted to do is bring out a blue, bring out a kind of a blue look to her eyes. And once again, anything in that malted milk family or rose brown on a summer will bring out a color in the eye. So that's why we chose this particular frame. Mm-hmm. But we could have done a silver, we could have done a white, but they just didn't quite enhance her eyes as much as this did.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to mention that it's not like the black looks bad. It's just when we're trying to color harmonize, it's really about making you stand out and not what you're wearing stand out. And that's what the black frame is doing. She still looks incredible. She looks gorgeous. It's it's a very funky, fun glass shape. I love it.
Yeah, I totally wouldn't not wear that glass in the summer because it's fun.
Yeah.
And we've talked about how frames can be fun and funky and artsy and whatever. Mm-hmm. But when you are wanting to maximize the look of your eye color and your overall color harmony look, like I think the lady on the right, I think she could go into a bank and ask for a job and look okay. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't make her look like she's trying to make a statement per se. It's kind of harmonious. But whereas the girl on the left might be trying to make a statement.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it still blows me away that those are the exact same frame shapes.
And the same size on her face.
Right. And it just looks so much more diffused in that rose brown versus the very sharp black.
And this is also another example of how I know summers may not choose rose brown often in their wardrobe, but if you have overlooked rose brown as a color for you, you should take another look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always look really good in it. And I know you tend to lean towards rose brown when you do lipsticks, which I guess for me, it wouldn't be my first choice, but you look so good in it.
Well, thank you. And we actually discovered that I have a pair of frames that are rose brown. They're sunglasses, actually. I left them in the car. I wanted to show them to you, but they look really good on summers. Mm-hmm. And that's how we got the inspiration to go with the rose brown.
Mm-hmm. So I figured while we're still on the summer, we could switch over to the summer model, or the summer metals, sorry.
Oh, let's do.
All right, so
we've talked plastics.
Mm-hmm.
And I prefer plastics because I am that person who I guess it's farsighted. Anything close up is hard for me to read. So inevitably, I have to take my glasses and put them on the top of my head to do certain things to see better. If I want to see farther away, I have to lift my glasses up, put them down, lift them up. And metal frames for me tend to lock into my hair and rip it out.
Right. It's so true, especially the little pieces that goes on the nose, rips it right out.
And it just tears my hair out, and it's like, oh, why bother? In fact, I have metal frames here to show you that I once had, and it was agony. There were lots of problems, but that's just me, and the fact that I'm up, down, up, down, up, down. And I guess I could get progressives, but they make me trip and fall. Put on progressives, I fall. It doesn't work for me. Mm-hmm. But those of you who love your metal frames, and there are many, many reasons to wear a metal frame. One is that it's lighter and there's less material on your face. But for summer, you have a lot of the same similar options as winter, but they're softer. So what we're showing here is, of course, kind of a charcoal. You can wear that, and it's lovely. Will work great for you. We're showing a sterling, which will also work great for you. And one of the things I'm seeing in frames, or that I saw when I was shopping for frames for this segment, is that they're coming up with a rose silver.
Love that.
All of us know that the rose gold has just taken over the world in terms of jewelry, and you see it everywhere. But the rose silver is stunning. And I think I'm going to get a pair just because they're beautiful. And I'll just say, you know, to heck with it, with ripping out my hair.
I think that color is gorgeous.
Rose silver frames. And I'm seeing them a lot this year. I'm seeing them a lot coming up in the fall and the winter. And it's a great choice for you guys.
So we're talking about summers right now. So you notice how soft everything is. But let's bring up another
metals.
Right.
Metal.
Now I'm going to bring up the winter season so you can see how much more contrast the winters get to play around.
Another cool season. Remember, summer and winter, so your cool season. No red or gold highlights in your hair. So, boom. See how much more contrasty it is? You've got this rich sterling, you've got charcoal, and you've got something that's almost an onyx metallic. And again, I was looking at what's available out there in frames coming up in fall and winter. And this onyx metallic in a matte finish, not shiny, in a matte, is going to be huge for winters.
And that contrast, you can see all that contrast right there. Remember, it's winters, you get all the contrast. You get the jewel tones, you get the fun, funky, and you also get black, which of course I'm so jealous of, but you get these very contrasty colors.
Now, I do want to put a word of caution out there. I've seen some winters who have white hair who choose white frames. I want you to rethink that. Because I believe that the white frames for winters or summers, they need to be nuanced. White frames are a little on the, it's almost like a crispy look to your face. And I don't think that they're quite right for us in 2020.
Now, I just got an interesting comment from Cindy. I thought maybe it's totally off topic, but I thought maybe you might be able to help if you recognize it. She's looking for the CMB lipstick color, early 90s, called Rustic Russet. Do you by chance?
That was a lipstick color that we had back in the day. I think our closest lipstick color to that at this point would be cinnamon.
Okay. So if we're talking that color family, and if you're in autumn.
And she's an autumn like you.
Yeah. Welcome to the autumn family. Cinnamon's a really great choice. Chili, which is a little bit brighter, but it's still a red. And then also Blaze, which is going to be like this very deeper, rustic, well, it's almost like a rusty terracotta color. It's gorgeous. And if you're in autumn,
glamorous. Now, if I can describe a particular color, Blaze, of all these she's described, rustic red is a little on the brown side. And back in the 90s, brown was the thing. And believe me, I feel you. I want to go back. You know, I got used to the browns. I got used to the mochas. And so I was a little hesitant to branch out into richer, more vibrant colors. But if you wanted to take your autumn palette lipstick and ratchet it up, and Holly will agree with us, I'm sure, out there, Blaze is so glamorous.
Lovely.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful.
And I have one more comment from Deborah. I figured you could help her out since you're also a summer. She's a very fair summer. She says the charcoal is a bit too dark for her and silver blends into her skin.
Girl, I feel you. So let me give you a piece of advice that I follow. I love a gradient frame for the very reasons you're describing. If you notice, I'm wearing one. Basically, I'm starting out, the charcoal is at the top, and it has a gradient down to something that's fairly light, like a pale, warm gray. When you have that challenge and you don't want to go with something that's all over charcoal or all over light, which I agree with you that it kind of evaporates off your face if you're a summer and you're wearing kind of a pale silver. Look for gradient frames. Make sure the darkest part of the gradient is up by your temple, because then you get an instant facelift, because everything kind of moves up and up and out. And it solves a lot of the problems that summer has. And if you look at my hair is gradient. You know, it's not one color.
Right.
It's, you know, everything from charcoal to white. So your frame, you can completely kind of echo that look and get something that you're very satisfied with if you do the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that tip. Also, the rose brown, I really loved. I haven't been able to really see that rose brown on other summers besides you. So seeing that on some of the models, I really love rose brown. So Deborah, I would recommend that rose brown as well. I didn't realize how gorgeous it was till I saw it on multiple people and really got to see the difference.
Rose brown is a lovely choice.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into a color, because when you're summer, and I know you know this, when you're summer, you tend to kind of go neutral, and you step away from vibrant color or color in general. And you have that option of trying a rose brown, and it will be beautiful. And before you spend $500 on frames, and here's the tip, because I'm a big bargain shopper. Before you spend $500 on frames at your doctor's office, try Zenni Optical. It's awesome. You get tons of color choices. But also look at yourself in sunglasses. Sunglasses will give you a clue as to what you should look for in frames. They're much less expensive.
And sunglasses are getting more and more colorful, which I love. So you get more and more options out there. And she also mentioned she got the rose silver, and it was perfect. So that rose silver.
Good. Exactly.
And if you let us know about that rose,
and you're right on trend. She's right on trend.
Right. I really loved it. I haven't been able to find any glasses that have that rose silver in it. So
well, I think coming up, you know, it may not be sunglass fair, because obviously it's going to be fall and winter soon. But I think in frames, in eyeglass stores, maybe higher end, you're going to find it. And again, don't be afraid to shop online for frames. It has become such a wonderful way to get a broader assortment of color and shop by color.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. All right, so I'm gonna, now that we've talked about our summers and our winters, all of our cool seasons, we're gonna now switch over to our warm seasons. And since we are talking winters right now, I'm gonna grab the autumn metals. Boom. Look how good. I love those. I love all of them. I wear all of them. They're great. I would wear that in jewelry, accessories, everything. Everything you got, glasses. Love all of those. They look so good.
Well, I put these together based on my research of what's coming up in the fall and what you're going to be able to see in metal frames in doctors' offices, online, whatever. And first of all, warm seasons, everybody can wear gold. If you want to wear gold, wear gold. Wear gold all day long. But you're going to find that metal frames are becoming more varied in what the colors that they're offering. And you can see blues, you can see pinks, you can see all different, probably not an orange, but green. What I tried to do is stick with the more conservative metals, the metals that, you know, are kind of like
you'll actually see out in the marketplace.
Yeah, because the colored metals, you can kind of you can select those based on your color fan or your color palette. So I stayed away from those. I wanted to give you something. And basically what I'm seeing is a chocolate metal, which is so much fun. And it's different because you don't see a lot of this chocolate metal. And I like it. Before, they were really, bronze was really popular. You see the bronze at the bottom. But you never saw anything with the deeper intensity as this chocolate metal frame. And it's very flattering on autumns.
It's so funny. Holly's commenting and saying, okay, she needs all of them. And I totally agree. I absolutely love all of these. I think they look gorgeous on. If you're in autumn out there, oh, these are amazing. And they look so good.
And you know what isn't there? And the go-to metal for autumns has always been copper. And we've always said, you know, go copper, you can do. But I'm not feeling copper for autumns anymore. I'm kind of going with this range. Just because I think autumns are soft,
Mm-hmm.
and these are so soft. They're soft, and I can just see you in the that chocolate frame, Sarah, and your eyes would just be amazingly huge.
Yeah, yes. Once again, if we're talking eye color, those chocolate frames, those metals would bring out brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. It would be complementary of almost every single color out there.
So look for those. I think that you autumns out there will really have fun with this.
Mm-hmm. All right, so our last season is going to be springs. I know we have Mary out there who is a spring. So this is for you. And she's also looking for other springs. So if you're a spring and you want to talk about spring colors with Mary, she is always open and looking for people. I know earlier she said that she currently has clear red with gold trim, but she needs a new pair, so she needs recommendations. So metals, here you go, Mary. This one's for you.
You know, when I put these together, one of the things that I was seeing a lot of is this very light gold. And I've heard it called Renaissance gold. Some of the manufacturers are calling it Renaissance gold, but it's almost a gold mixed with a silver to the point that it's a little bit lighter than your typical just gold.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. If you're a spring and you want to change your frames, you're going into the season's coming up. It's so pretty on the face.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because if you're a spring, you have red or gold highlights in your hair, probably a combination.
Mm-hmm.
And it just picks up your hair and it brings everything together. And I love it. Part of the reason I love it is because you see gold everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And while gold is very flattering on springs, I'm all about doing something that's a little bit different.
Yes, you are.
So, though I have gold here, and gold is beautiful, absolutely beautiful on you. And you will also see frames that are combinations of colors and gold. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that light Renaissance gold because it is fun.
I absolutely love that. If anyone, once again, if you find glasses that are in your season, feel free to comment them because I would love to check them out. Any seasons out there, I know everyone's looking for recommendations for glasses right now, changing up their look. So don't forget, leave some comments of anything you find.
Don't spend money until you send us your picture, and we can give you an opinion. I mean, let's face it, your friends and family love you, and so they're going to see your face and they're going to go, "Oh, it's beautiful," and then you're going to put something horrible on. They're going to go, "Oh, it's beautiful." We will give you an objective opinion, and we're happy to do it. We're just love that stuff, so we will be happy to do it. And of course, bronze is something that a spring can wear beautifully. And I've added this to your spring metal palette because oftentimes you will see a frame that is half metal and half nothing. I mean, basically it goes down, the frame is kind of across here, and then there's a little plastic, almost like cord, that keeps the frame in place. So all your metal is right across here. For springs, that in bronze is beautiful.
That would be absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, the next section, I know we are running low on time, so we're going to run through this next section.
Well, what's good about the next section is we can also post it. And if anybody has the face shape, they can just download it and take it with them.
Right. So we have face shapes coming up next. I'm going to run through them as fast as I can, but after we hop off, I'll make sure to comment them down below as well. So
let me just say something about face shapes. What you'll find here is Sarah starts to bring them up, and Sarah, you can just cut me right off and put the face shapes up or whatever, because they don't need to be seeing me. If you look carefully at every face shape, the recommended eyeglass shape is to give you the look of a cheekbone or to enhance your cheekbones. And rarely do you have discussion of eyeglasses and cheekbones together in terms of face shape, but that is the key. When you look at eyeglasses on yourself and you're thinking, oh, these are really nice, it's because they're bringing this part of your face up and out.
As you know, the trick that I always say when it comes to doing your eye makeup, your glasses, anything around this area, excluding your blush as well, is to move it up and out. So constantly, if you're doing eyeliner, up and out. If you're doing eyeshadow, up and out. Mascara, up and out. Really drag out whatever's going on here, straight up and out. So that's always the golden rule when it comes to these kind of things, including glasses. So here we have two face shapes. We have this very
oval,
the very long oval, and then we have heart
kind of common, and the heart shape. And basically, the oval is considered kind of the standard for beauty. You know, you want to give the illusion that your face is an oval shape. And with the oval shaped face, you have a lot of latitude. We're showing this first, but basically, you have a lot of latitude in terms of what you can wear. But if you notice, they're still trying to lift and elongate the cheekbone area by using the shape of the glass to do it.
Yeah. All right, so the next one I'm going to grab as we talk about lifting.
Well, we didn't talk about the heart-shaped face. And I would say that once again, they're doing the same exact thing, but they're suggesting a lighter touch. Because with the heart-shaped face, I think a famous celebrity with a heart-shaped face is Reese Witherspoon. Lots of forehead, cheekbones, very little chin. But still, the idea is to up and out, but they don't give you that curvaceous kind of base that someone with an oval shape can wear. You're very light. It's very light and feathery in terms of up and out.
Right. Okay, so I'm grabbing our next grouping, which is going to be square to start off with, and then diamond.
Wow, these are really different. But again, with the square, notice they are exaggerating the idea of bringing in that cheekbone. And because with the square face, you're trying to compete with a heavy jaw, they've gone way overboard. Not overboard, I mean, it's perfect, but they've really focused on getting the eyeglasses up and out to a point that as you look at the edge of the face, you've got this kind of shape rather than this shape.
Right.
So if you've got a strong jawbone, this is your frame. That cat eye is your frame. Now, if you're a diamond shape, and I mentioned that back in the day when we were all hippies, like 1,000 years ago, at least 45. I don't even want to think about it. We were all like emulating John Lennon and his little circle frames, and we were all thinking we looked fantastic, little hippies, and our hair was like sticking out everywhere. And we loved that look, and that was us, and whatever. But right now, really, unless you have a diamond-shaped face, which you see here, you probably should stay away from the round frames. Now, why can she get away with the round frames? What part of her face is sticking out? It's this. So she has some latitude there.
A lucky girl right there, let me tell you. She's already got the cheekbones. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in a rectangle to start off with.
The square and this kind of broader oval. Again, the oval, I'm speaking to the bottom of the pictures. The oval face is supposed to be the classic, and everything that you do, you're trying to make your face look more oval. But this broader oval enables you, again, to use a frame, not necessarily cat eye, but something that has a soft round on the bottom, but still goes out like this where it's paralleling your cheekbone. Square face, well, this is a rectangular face, but principles are basically the same.
It looks just like the square one that we did earlier.
But it's longer, long, strong jaw. And again, what you're trying to do is balance, because part of what the magic of eyeglasses is you can use them to balance the shape of your face. So if you've got a really strong jaw, what you want to do is balance that, make it look more oval by adding weight here, like you see in the drawing.
All right, and our last set of face shapes. And we did this pretty fast, so kudos to you. Normally, we would just go on and on.
Well, ultimately, I was going to ask you what your face shape is, but it's right here on the screen.
Yeah, I know.
Sarah's face is round.
Yes, I have a very round.
And so what you see here are glasses that actually kind of say, oh, yeah, well, there's some roundness going on, but look at this squareness that's right here at the cheekbone. So for someone with a really round cherubic face, like Wait, where is it? Wait, I can't. That one. Um, adding that point at the bottom of the frame is really important to cut through some of that roundness and say, oh, wait, here's the square angle. And inverted diamonds. The inverted diamond shaped face, again, strong jaw, but this, because there's very little up here, the idea is to pull this way over. And I know that there was a trend not too long ago, and still to some degree, of everybody wanted to wear aviator glasses. I wanted to wear aviator glasses.
I wanted to wear aviator glasses too.
No. The face shape, the only face shape that can really pull off these aviator glasses is one that has strong jaw, narrow temple.
Or if you're a round face shaped person and you wear aviator glasses, it just
or if you're Richard Gere.
It just, my face looked like a balloon when I wore it. It accentuated the roundness even more, which aviators are not for me in my face shape.
And you know what? Those are things we just have to let go of. You know, there's certain things that I would love, you know, the John Lennon frame. I love those. They're so cute. And I had to let it go for something. And Sarah was instrumental in forcing me out of what I would normally wear, because typically, you know, I would grab, and I'm going to demo, I would grab a little frame like this because I was utilitarian. I wanted to be seen as practical, getting stuff done, strictly business, whatever.
Yeah, now look at you.
So I would wear a little frame like this. But it didn't do anything for me. Remember, it's got that little point here that would be better for Sarah.
Yeah.
And I wore those, and then I decided that I was going to go, and I found these Tom Ford frames. Ridiculously expensive, but I thought, oh, they're Tom Ford. I would be wearing Tom Ford. How fabulous. And so I got these frames, and I kept kind of gravitating to that.
Yeah.
And so I got these Tom Ford frames. They make me look so matronly. I mean, I look like somebody's grandma. I am somebody's grandma. Hey, Miles, but they're not nearly as flattering as what I ended up with, the shape.
Like, it just lifts your face so much. It's unbelievable. It really does.
So going, you know, there are a million reasons you choose a frame, or you might see a frame that you like. But really, going with the face shape and the color, it will get you 85% there.
Yeah, those look great on you. And it just lifted, like, your jawline.
You saw. Let me just do it one more time, because this was dreary. This was dismal. Let me do this typical before and afters that you see in magazines where they're going, I don't look as good here as I look.
Yeah. It really does make a difference. So a face shape does absolutely matter. I'm checking our comments. I'm so sorry. Once again, I hate doing this when I have to check it on my phone, but for some reason our comments are not loading up.
The last comment we had was from Nancy Sajak way at the beginning of the video.
But that one was funny because she said she thought I was wearing a veil.
Every time people get on there, and this is new for us. Someday when the pandemic passes, we'll be able to do these again the way that we used to do them, which was sitting side by side. We didn't talk over each other, and that'll be a blessed day.
Yeah. So I just want to run back through some of our comments, and we're getting Holly's talking about her heart-shaped face. There we go, shaped face. You know what I mean. So I'll send you, Holly. I'll send you the infographic for you as well.
And remember, that's Reese Witherspoon. That's her shaped face.
Yeah, that's so true.
You could do worse.
And Holly, of course, is talking about your Tom Ford spendy glasses.
They're awful, right?
They're not awful. I see how much lift you get with the glasses you're currently wearing. And we have a question from Susan who's asking, can a summer have light amber eyes?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of my favorite summer combinations. So yes, you can have light amber eyes, and you do want to adjust for your eye color because granted, your eye color is not cool.
Right.
So you have some options that other people may have, but remember, even I always say about the Summers is if people start to describe you with the word ish at the end,
Mm-hmm.
her hair is grayish, her eyes are bluish. Even your case, instead of saying you have brown eyes, they're brownish or they're amber-ish because that makes you so soft. But it does change your frame a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have some options. You can move into the rose browns and find a happy medium between your hair color and your eye color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was just thinking about those rose brown frames that you had earlier. If you go back to the beginning when we were doing before and afters, Susan, you can check out those rose brown frames that they lean a little into warmer.
But remember, if you're looking at your metals, that new metal, the rosy kind of rose silver metal, I would love to see you try those on.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have been talking for an hour already, which it doesn't feel like it, but we have, and I am.
And we've been drinking for an hour. Yeah, cheers.
Yes, we always start at noon. So if you want to come back, we have shows every Monday and Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Our Monday shows are It's a Beautiful Monday, where we talk about skincare, a lot of skincare.
We talk about everything, though. Really, we talk about just beauty in general. We had a great show this past Monday, and I think we're going to do more of that, where we talked about the best foods for your skin.
Yep.
And keeping your skin from the inside. Great show.
If you want to watch that, it was our last video. So you can just scroll back one and you should be able to find it. And then moving forward, if you want to join us at noon, Monday and Wednesdays, we'd be happy to have you. Wednesdays is
love to have you.
Yes. Wednesdays we talk about color analysis, things like we talked about today. We do a ton of
give us your comments because we're a family. I mean, the people who are here every week and they're commenting, they're our family now. We really care. If anybody who's a part of our family asks a question, we answer it. We answer any questions that you post after the video. We're a group.
Absolutely. So we would love to have everyone join the family, and we hope to see you on Monday and Wednesdays at noon. And we'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget that. All right.